'Twas the day before Halloween, and welcome to First Things First. I am Jenna Wolf. That's the Hall of Famer Chris Carter. That is Nick Wright. Nobody does Halloween better than New York City, so if you are in town, enjoy it. If you are not, come to town. Here's what we got for you the next 3 hours.
I didn't know any of that stuff.
There's a lot of things I could teach you, Nick. A lot of things.
Oh, okay.
Teams,
Good morning,
let me
America.
aim for 3 right now. We're going to start strong. It'll be downhill from there. Teams are trying to trade for Odell before today's deadline. Cleveland fired most of its head coaches this week, and the Patriots took to the national stage. That's where we start. Patriots in Buffalo for Monday Night Football. Fourth quarter, Pats don't have a touchdown yet. Brady finds Chris Hogan. He takes it all the way down to the 1. Next play, James White rushes in for the score. Pats up 18-6. Buffalo Bills quarterback Derek Anderson mounting the comeback for Buffalo. Instead, he mounts this, a pick 6 to Devin McCourty. Patriots go on to win 25-6. They've now won 5 in a row. Here is Tom Brady after the game on how this one ended.
They made it tough on us, and that was a huge play in the game. So we'll take the win however we can get it and try to learn from it and move on next week.
All right, Nick, what did you make of the way the Patriots struggled to just put this away last night against the Bills, or does it not matter?
No, I think it matters. I think everything with the Patriots matters. When you're talking about a team that is one of, I would say, the half-dozen Super Bowl, real, true Super Bowl contenders, one of the half-dozen teams in the league that if they win this championship, you wouldn't be surprised at all. Having it to be a 9-6 game until that Kyle Van Noy strip sack that led to a field goal, having it be a 1-score game headed into the fourth quarter, all of that matters against what is the Buffalo Bills are the worst offense in football by far. Like, I understand people say, what about the Arizona Cardinals? If you look at any of the advanced metrics, there is all 31 teams right here and then Buffalo down beneath the table. They have been the worst offense in the league. So I give the Pats credit for holding Buffalo to 6 points, but a lot of teams have had defensive success against Buffalo. What would be at least moderately concerning to me if I'm a Pats fan is you didn't have turnover issues. Brady had played his first clean game from a turnover perspective all year, and yet you struggled to score. They had that one great drive late in the fourth quarter that I believe put the game away because Buffalo being down 2 scores might as well be 12 scores. And then the pick 6 to officially put the game away. But the Pats didn't look incredibly sharp. They didn't look as good as you would have expected them to look on offense against the Buffalo Bills. Now, they win by 19 points despite all that because they're the Patriots. But no, see, I didn't think this was a great offensive game for New England.
Right. No, there was a number of things that you can look at and say at this point in the season, you would expect New England to be better. So they're struggling. I am concerned. I'm concerned about the absence of Sony Michel.
Yes.
Anytime that you see an offense or a organization move a wide receiver to running back, you know there's problems. Because even Cordell Patterson, as good as he is running the football and open space as a returner, the visual lanes and the instincts you need to run the football, they are not there from a skill set standpoint from wide receiver transferring over to running back. It's the reason why you haven't seen a lot of them do it. Number one, a lot of wide receivers catch the ball and are backer to the defense. Running backs, they get the ball, visually everything is in front of them. So the skill sets don't transfer. So for them to move Cordell to tailback, it lets me know they're very, very concerned. So they couldn't run the ball. So that's a concern. The offensive line, when they started becoming predictable, they started having problems protecting Tom Brady. And Gronkowski, to me, doesn't have the same type of burst down the middle of the field. You see, he's not even targeted, trying to stretch the field down the middle. A couple times on the outside, he comes up with the big catch later on. And I'm still concerned about their wide receivers. That's why you hear all the talk as far as them being involved before the trade deadline as far as acquiring another wideout.
So, and I understand there's talk, and we're going to get into it throughout the show, about Golden Tate, about Demaryius Thomas and the Patriots and the trade deadline, which is approaching in a few hours. That's not the position I would target if I were them, because I think I have seen they still have Edelman. Gronk can still be great in bursts, and Josh Gordon, despite some reports yesterday that he had been tardy and was going to be benched for the first quarter, we saw him out there in the first series. Josh Gordon is going to continue to be a bigger part of this offense. What we saw yesterday is they've got one running back they trust, Sony Michel, and he wasn't there. They got what? If I'm going to target a player at the deadline, I want to target a running back
or a defensive end.
Sure, but on the offensive side, I should say, if I'm going to target a player on the offensive side, I would say running back over wide receiver, because I understand Sony Michel is going to be back, but Sony Michel had a knee issue in college. Sony Michel had a knee issue in the preseason.
Yes.
Sony Michel, I think, dodged a bullet for a potentially very serious knee injury last week, but we saw this week, like, the running back production, James White, 8 for 15, Kenyon Barner, 2 for 4 yards, and that's the entirety of it. Other than that, it was Julian Edelman running the ball and Cordarrelle Patterson. Like, if you don't have this Pats team, when they played their best offensive game of the year, at least what I thought was their best offensive game of the year against the Chiefs, it was because they could continually gash the Chiefs on the ground. When they have been averaging 38 a game for the last month, it's while Sony Michel has been playing his best football. If their plan B from Sony Michel is Cordarrelle Patterson, I mean, I've seen the Green Bay Packers try that with old 88 Ty Montgomery, who's in the news for different reasons a couple of years ago in the backfield. That means you are out of options. And so, go ahead.
You wouldn't look at this Patriots team and say, well, this is a team that's one solid, healthy running back away from going all the way back to the Super Bowl. You wouldn't do that. I mean, this is a team that when they want to put up 38 points, they put up 38 points the last couple weeks. I know they didn't have Sony Michel, but Sony Michel was banged up the last time they played as well. What's the one thing that you're...
But the last time they played, Jenna, and they scored 38, they had 2 special teams touchdowns. Like, when they... I think...
It's distorted.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I just disagree with the premise a bit. I think for this Pats team, because Brady's numbers look good in comparison to Brady's career, but we have to recognize that in 2018, everything's different.
Yes,
statistically.
all the numbers are inflated.
All the numbers are inflated. We watch Eli Manning, and we say he's finished. He's done. And visually,
his numbers.
right? And visually he is. But his numbers say he's having the best year of his career. And so if Brady's having a career average year in a year when everyone's having a career year, that to me says that the running game is a key part of their ability to score offense.
It's not only the running game. It's that Kenyon Barner's never been a featured running back, all right, since college. Like, he is a special teams player, third down specialist. James White has not been a featured back all his days in Wisconsin, all his days in the NFL, and none of his days in high school. I coached him in high school. He has been a role player, and you can tell by their play calling that they don't have enough confidence in James White. He only had 8 carries, but he doesn't have the girth. Him or Barnes don't have the girth that Sony Michel brings and the power that they bring to the running game. So I believe that's a problem. And when you don't have that, it does not lead to a lot of play action passes. So it gives you chances to get deep shots down the field. So there's a reason to be concerned when you look at the Pats, and especially against the opposition. I mean, that's the Buffalo. Man, this is a bad, potentially the worst team in the NFL. Derek Anderson, he was trying to make some golf tour. He was out training. He almost throws for 300 yards against them. So, I mean, no real football fan's going to leave last night's game and say, you know something? New England has built on what they did 2 weeks ago. To me, they have gone a little bit backwards because of the injuries.
So if you're looking at a team that wants to shore up one position before the trade deadline today, do they go out and they try to secure a running back, or do they go get what's rumored to be a wide receiver?
Listen, the only person that has said they should trade for a running back, best I can tell, is me about 5 minutes ago. Like, that doesn't seem to be on the board from the people that are actually reporting. So, like, the newsmakers would, the newsbreakers would say that they are looking for wide receivers. Go ahead, Steve.
I just wish people would stop thinking that you can go to New England as a wide receiver and offensive player and just pick up the system. Like, we just act as if anyone can go to New England, not only from a skill standpoint, but from a learning standpoint. It's a very complicated system. We've seen veteran after veteran after veteran. How many wide receivers?
You said 27, I think, when they added Josh Gordon from the end of last year to this year.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily believe that they're going to trade for a wide receiver, because how effective will they be over the next month? So now you're in the last month of the season.
But Jenna, to your point, which is they always find a way, despite everything we said, when they had to have it, up only 6 in the fourth quarter, a 10-play, 85-yard drive, a big 3rd and 6 to Edelman, a big 3rd and 6 to James White. Like, because they are so sound from a coaching and so smart from a quarterback standpoint, even when I thought this was a C- level game for the Pats, and they cover the 14-point spread on the road. Like, But because we look at them with a different eye, as far as can they get back to their 9th Super Bowl? Can they win their 6th Super Bowl? It's the little things that we got to pay attention to.
All right, let's take a break. On the other side,